Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Please subscribe and keep watching more details. The latest 90-day spin-off is even better than I expected. The first episode of the newest spin-off, 90-Day Hunt for Love, has aired, and the tone the show has already established has blown me away. The 90-Day Fiance franchise is known for pumping out spin-off after spin-off. In 2014, the franchise started with the OG 90-Day Fiance series. After the third season, the franchise released 90-Day Fiance, Happily Ever After, to showcase the married couple's continued journey. Then the franchise pumped out mini-supporting series like 90-Day, What Now?, or 90-Day Diaries, and other full-blown spin-offs like 90-Day Fiance. Before the 90 Days and 90-Day Fiance, Love in Paradise. In just over a decade, the franchise has released over 20 different spin-offs, and this year they've done it again. My opinions on a new spin-off, in general, have flipped back and forth. Although I love the 90-Day Fiance franchise and have a soft spot for the K1 visa storyline, I also think the series often exploits the stars past the point of pure entertainment. Sometimes the storylines are similar across the spin-offs and become played out and predictable. However, I had high hopes for the newest series based solely on the new premise. The only resemblance to the overall franchise is the stars, but the premise of the show is different from the other spin-offs. 90-Day Hunt for Love features random singles for the 90-Day Fiance alumni to mingle with, and after the first episode, I think my original beliefs were correct. Firstly, there's a much more hopeful and optimistic vibe among the 90-Day Fiance stars. In the traditional spin-offs, there's a lot of drama and pressure between time constraints, visas, and in-laws. In this spin-off, everyone is starting from scratch and searching for love at the same time. As the stars walk in and introduce themselves or provide their backstory, the tone seems different than the other shows. Even the stars themselves seem different and have a bit of pep in their step. For instance, some of the alumni to appear on the newest spin-off were Chantel Everett, Tiffany Franco, and Usman Soja Boy Umar. The last time those three stars appeared in the franchise, they weren't having the easiest time connecting and stepping into the dating world. Chantel tried dating another international man, but he couldn't get past the divorce. The same thing happened to Tiffany, as she tried dating on 90-Day. The single life, but none of the relationships panned out. Usman, on the other hand, was last seen with Kimberly Menzies back in Happily Ever After, Season 7, when they broke off their engagement. Each of the stars has had a difficult time on the series, but I think they're much more open and willing to move past that in this new spin-off. Tiffany is hoping to find her man, but she's also going into the experience with no expectations, which I think shows a lot of growth. Similarly, Chantel is ready to move on from her divorce, and Usman has realized that if he wants children, he can't keep dating old women. I think the stars have shown a lot of growth and maturity so far, and it's only the beginning. However, while the vibes might be chill now, the premise leaves room for turmoil that the previous series don't showcase. For example, with the new 90-Day Fiance series, essentially a speed dating show, there's potential for love triangles and much more drama. I think some of the cast members potentially hinted at the drama in their confessionals already. Tiffany mentioned how stunning Chantel was, and while it's not a competition, hopefully there will be enough men left over for her. On top of that, there's also the ex-couple Tim Malcolm and Jennifer Terrazona, which I think adds a complicated layer to the dynamic. Both of them can be forward and blunt, and I wouldn't be surprised if they somehow clash as the season goes on. To further support my opinions, an interview with the cast suggests my beliefs might be right. In an interview with In Touch, Tiffany revealed, Believe me when I tell you whatever you think, whatever you assume is gonna happen. Get ready to be completely thrown off guard. The single mom of two continued to explain. Everything you believe and everything you know. Get ready to be okay. Very, very, very surprised. Sometimes pleasantly, sometimes not so pleasantly. 90-Day Fiance. Before the 90 Days, Season 1 star Courtney Rugans also claimed that the series was the wildest thing 90 Day has ever filmed. She hinted the new series was going to be wild as so much happened there. That's never happened on reality TV before. Overall, while the 90 Day Fiance franchise is known for overdoing it with the spin-offs, they might have hit gold with this one. I think this is the perfect embodiment of what the franchise has been. 90 Day Fiance spin-offs for years, through the train wrecks, the tantrums, the tearful breakups in foreign airports, and the suspicious green card motivations. Just when I thought TLC had milked every last drop out of the franchise, they dropped their latest entry, and somehow it's even better than I expected. The new spin-off, 90 Day Fiance. Passport to Passion takes a bold step into new territory. Instead of just following couples through the 90-day visa process, it flips the formula. In this version, Americans travel to live with their international partners before popping the question. It's like The Amazing Race meets Love is Blind, with a dash of Survivor thrown in. It's chaotic, heartfelt, and undeniably addictive. What makes it so compelling? For starters, the casting is a stroke of genius. We're introduced to 6 Americans who have all fallen for partners abroad. But here's the twist. They've only spent a total of 7 days or less with them in person. Now they've committed to live in their partner's home country for 90 days before making any marriage decisions. The stakes feel higher, the cultural clashes are sharper, and the emotional payoff is richer. Take Stephanie from Iowa. She's never been out of the Midwest, and suddenly she's in a rural Thai village with her boyfriend Lek, sleeping under mosquito nets, and navigating a family who speaks 0 English. The discomfort is real, but so is the growth. Watching her go from awkwardly pantomiming toilet to confidently bargaining at the local market is surprisingly touching. Then there's Brian, a conspiracy theorist podcaster from Arizona who fell in love with a French linguist named Camille. Their Parisian apartment is cramped, their debates are fiery, and their love is either a ticking time bomb or the start of something profound. Their storyline is cinematic. Long walks along the scene interrupted by arguments over fluoride and government mind control. It's the kind of unfiltered mess you just can't script. But beyond the drama, and yes, there's plenty, Passport to Passion actually leans more into empathy and depth than previous spin-offs. There's more time spent exploring the daily lives of the non-American partners, offering viewers a window into other cultures with nuance rather than caricature. We see real conversations about religion, family expectations, and even gender roles, not just explosive fights in hotel lobbies. The production quality has also taken a leap forward. Gone are the grainy Skype calls and handheld phone footage. Instead, we get sweeping drone shots of small Italian towns, bustling markets in Morocco, and sun-drenched beaches in the Philippines. It feels less like reality TV and more like a travel docuseries with emotional stakes. Perhaps what's most refreshing is that the show doesn't pressure every couple to end with a proposal. Some do, some don't. Some discover they're better as friends. It's less about rushing toward the altar and more about understanding what love looks like when it's tested by distance, culture, and daily life. That makes it more real than any previous season I can remember. Of course, no 90-day show would be complete without a healthy dose of chaos. There's a moment in episode 3 when Candace, a beauty influencer from Miami, realizes her Senegalese boyfriend still lives with his ex-wife and her extended family. Cute tears, shouting, and an unforgettable midnight confrontation that ends with a chicken coop being knocked over. It's classic TLC gold. But even in its messiest moments, Passport to Passion maintains a sense of heart. You're not just gawking at disaster, you're invested. You want these couples to make it, or at least to learn something meaningful along the way. And for the first time in a long while, it feels like the producers do too. There's also a new host, none other than Kalani Fagata from Season 6. And she brings a grounded, authentic energy to the wrap-ups and confessional commentary. Her empathy is palpable, especially when she reflects on her own transnational relationship challenges. Her presence adds legitimacy to a show that could have easily veered into parody. What's more, the spin-off is embracing modern dating challenges. One storyline follows Samir and Jace, a gay couple navigating immigration barriers in Turkey. Another explores polyamory, with a Brazilian woman introducing her American girlfriend to her two live-in partners. These narratives aren't sensationalized. They're presented with respect and curiosity, helping broaden the show's emotional spectrum.